William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is one of his most celebrated and enduring comedies. First performed in the mid-1590s, the play blends romance, farce, fantasy, and music to explore love in all its confusion and unpredictability. Set across both the ordered world of Athens and the magical lawless forest beyond it, the play examines how desire disrupts reason, how identity becomes fluid under emotion, and how harmony is ultimately restored through imagination and reconciliation. The play opens in Athens, where Duke Theseus prepares for his marriage to Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons. Their impending wedding frames the play and represents order, law, and social stability. However, this sense of order is quickly challenged by conflict. Egeus brings his daughter Hermia before Theseus, furious that she refuses to marry Demetrius, the man he has chosen for her. Hermia is in love with Lysander and the feeling is mutual. Theseus upholds Athenian law. Hermia must either marry Demetrius, become a nun, or face death. Faced with this harsh ultimatum, Hermia and Lysander decide to flee Athens and escape into the nearby forest, where the law holds no power. Hermia confides in her friend Helena, who is desperately in love with Demetrius. Hoping to win his affection, Helena betrays Hermia's secret and follows Demetrius into the forest, convinced that loyalty and devotion will eventually be rewarded. Meanwhile, a group of Athenian craftsmen rehearse a play to perform at Theseus' wedding. Led by Peter Quince, the group includes the enthusiastic but hopelessly overconfident Nick Bottom. Their chosen drama, Pyramus and Thisbe, is a tragic love story, but their rehearsal is riddled with misunderstandings, comic incompetence, and exaggerated seriousness. Once the action moves into the forest, the play shifts fully into the realm of magic and chaos. The forest is ruled by Oberon, king of the fairies, and Titania, his queen. The two are locked in a bitter argument over a changeling boy whom Titania refuses to give up. Their conflict has disrupted the natural world, causing strange weather and disorder. To punish Titania, Oberon orders his mischievous servant Puck to use a magical flower whose juice, when placed on a sleeper's eyes, makes them fall in love with the first creature they see upon waking. Oberon plans to enchant Titania so that he can humiliate her and reclaim the boy. Oberon also notices Helena's misery and decides to intervene. He instructs Puck to enchant Demetrius so that he will return Helena's love. However, Puck mistakes Lysander for Demetrius, and when Lysander awakens, he instantly falls in love with Helena, abandoning Hermia entirely. Chaos ensues as Demetrius is later enchanted as well, leaving both men obsessively pursuing Helena, while Hermia is left confused and heartbroken. Helena, unable to believe her sudden popularity, assumes she's being mocked. Hermia, furious at what she sees as betrayal, accuses Helena of stealing Lysander's love. The four lovers argue bitterly, and the forest becomes a space of emotional extremity, jealousy, confusion, and irrational behaviour. At the same time, Puck stumbles upon the craftsmen rehearsing their play. For his own amusement, he transforms Bottom's head into that of a donkey. When Titania awakens under the influence of the love potion, she falls instantly in love with Bottom in his ridiculous new form. She dotes on him, surrounding him with fairies and treating him as a divine being. Oberon, satisfied with Titania's humiliation, eventually relents. After she agrees to give him the changeling boy, he releases her from the spell. Puck removes Bottom's transformation, and Bottom awakens, believing his experience was nothing more than a strange dream. Recognizing the chaos he has caused, Oberon orders Puck to restore order among the lovers. Lysander's enchantment is removed, returning his love to Hermia, while Demetrius remains enchanted, ensuring that he genuinely loves Helena. The couples fall asleep in the forest, and when they awaken, they believe their night of confusion was merely a dream. Theseus, hunting in the forest, discovers the lovers and overrules Egeus, allowing Hermia to marry Lysander and Helena to marry Demetrius. Order is restored, but it is an order reshaped by experience rather than rigid law. The play concludes with the triple wedding of Theseus and Hippolyta, Hermia and Lysander, and Helena and Demetrius. The craftsmen perform Pyramus and Thisbe, which becomes a farcical highlight full of misplaced confidence, unintentional comedy, and affectionate mockery. The performance reinforces the play's celebration of imagination, even when it is flawed. The fairies return in the final scene to bless the marriages, and Puck addresses the audience directly, suggesting that if the play has offended, it should be regarded as nothing more than a dream. One of the central themes of A Midsummer Night's Dream is the irrational nature of love. Shakespeare repeatedly shows that love is unstable, impulsive, and often absurd. Characters fall in and out of love suddenly, sometimes for no rational reason at all. Through the magic of the love potion, Shakespeare literalizes the idea that love is beyond logic or control. Another major theme is appearance versus reality. The forest represents a space where identities shift and perception cannot be trusted. Lovers misjudge one another, characters fall in love with illusions, and even the audience is invited to question what is real. The idea of the dream becomes a metaphor for emotional experience itself. Order versus chaos also shapes the play. Athens represents law, structure, and reason, while the forest symbolizes freedom, imagination, and emotional disorder. The movement between these spaces allows characters to confront desire and confusion before returning to society transformed. The play also explores theatre and imagination. Through the craftsman's play within a play, Shakespeare celebrates amateur creativity and highlights the shared, imaginative contract between performers and audience. Even flawed art, the play suggests, has value and joy. A Midsummer Night's Dream has had a profound influence on modern culture. Its themes of confused romance, mistaken identity, and magical transformation underpin countless romantic comedies, films, and fantasy stories. From stage musicals to Hollywood films, its structure continues to shape how stories of love and chaos are told. The play has inspired adaptations across theatre, ballet, opera, and cinema. Felix Mendelssohn's incidental music remains one of the most famous musical interpretations of Shakespeare. Film versions and modernised stage productions frequently reimagine the forest as a dreamscape shaped by contemporary concerns. The character of Puck has become a lasting cultural symbol of mischief and theatrical magic, while the idea that love is a kind of enchantment remains deeply influential. The play's emphasis on imagination, emotional freedom, and reconciliation ensures its relevance for modern audiences. Its humour and fantasy make it accessible, while its deeper reflections on human behaviour continue to reward study. A Midsummer Night's Dream endures because it embraces contradiction. It mocks love while celebrating it, exposes human foolishness while forgiving it, and dissolves chaos without denying its necessity. Shakespeare suggests that confusion, desire, and imagination are not threats to order, but essential parts of being human. By the end of the play, harmony is restored, not by suppressing emotion, but by allowing it to run its course. Love remains imperfect, but it is accepted as part of life's strange and beautiful unpredictability. More than 400 years after its first performance, A Midsummer Night's Dream remains a joyful exploration of love, dreams, and the transformative power of imagination.